Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to yet another great edition of Topic Time with Harrison Young. I have a musical guest tonight in studio with me. That little clap sound you just heard, he was keeping up to the rhythm of my theme music, and he's very, very talented. In fact, I'd say he's a musical genius. But before we get to him, I'm going to get to the underwriters, and then we'll get right to him. And so here we go. We got Cherry Lane Seat Weaving in West Bridgewater. We got Red's Emporium in Duxbury. They're a new one. We got Smoke and Ashes Tobacco Company in Abington, with stores and locations in Abington, Rockland, Whitman, Weymouth, and Hanson. We got Dave's Automotive in Hanson. We got Hennessy Automotive in Kingston. We got Angels Auto Parts in Plimpton, where they pay top dollars for used cars and junk cars. We got Wicked Healthy Natural Food Supplements in Kingston. Anthony Bevilacqua sent me my guest tonight. Thank you very much. And we got another new one, Nickerson Auto Body in Kingston, and I want to thank you guys very much. So now we will introduce the guest. This gentleman here with the guitar and the amp next to him. I don't know if you guys can see that, but he brought it in special just for the show. This is Tomas Campbell.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a little, I don't know what they call those little marks above one of the letters in your first name.
Yeah, an accent.
An accent, okay. Is that French?
It's Spanish.
It is, okay. Interesting, okay. Is that your ethnic history, band background?
Yeah, my grandparents came from Cuba, and before that they were from Spain.
Interesting, cool. I never would have guessed that, but that's why we ask these questions. It's always interesting getting the ethnic diversity. I mean, you're an American, obviously, but I've had people from all over the world on the show, so you're probably the closest representative, of Cuba, Spain, any of the countries that are of Spanish descent, and that's pretty wild. Okay, so tell me about you, though. Now we're going to talk about you, and he's going to play a little music for us. You grew up right here in Carver.
Yep.
Okay, you said you just graduated high school a couple of years ago.
Yep, I'm 20 years old now. I'm going to be a junior in college.
Where?
Coming up at Bridgewater State University.
Oh, BU at BSU, great school.
Yeah.
Okay. I wrote a book and had it published there in 1999.
Really?
In 1989, I took the course of the guy that would publish it 10 years later. I don't know, I doubt he's there anymore. He must be retired. He'd be pretty old if he's there. He'd be close to 80, but you never know. I've lost track of him. So what are you majoring in over there at BSU?
I'm majoring in music education.
Okay, good. Do you want to be a music teacher? Is that your goal eventually?
Yeah, absolutely. It's more of a passion for me than performing.
It is.
I've always had a drive to teach people, especially music.
Okay.
High school's where I've been looking lately.
Okay.
Of just that area, but I teach any grade level.
That's awesome. Okay. But let's talk. All right. Let's break it down to your childhood. You're not that old. You just graduated high school a couple of years ago. So what were you like as a kid? When did you start music, and how did it emulate to what you're doing now?
I didn't do music until I was in high school.
Really? Okay.
I started guitar around 8th grade.
Okay.
It was just a hobby. It wasn't really anything important. For a long time, I wanted to do acting and filmmaking.
Okay.
But I kind of realized, especially as I got into high school, it's not really for me. I'm not a good actor. And I got into guitar, and it was just one of those things that I just felt the chemistry with it, and I just wanted to keep going with it for a long time.
Well, did you try acting and filmmaking as a younger guy?
Yeah, I did some film competitions when I was really young.
Okay.
And,
how young?
I probably started when I was about 7.
So when you say film competitions, you mean like acting competitions in film?
Yeah.
So you actually did do some film acting even as young as 7?
Yeah, it wasn't anything huge. It was more for like festivals and everything.
Right, but it's still a pretty big deal when a kid that young does an acting gig in a film. What was it like indie films that you were in?
Yeah, little indie films.
Okay.
The competitions, I was an actor under the director of Andrew Osborne, who's from Middleborough.
Okay.
So
yeah. So the reason I ask these questions is, number one, even though you don't do it anymore, if this is a person that's successful in what he does, maybe we could get him on the show at another time if he likes it. So that's really cool. So is he still doing filmmaking now, or don't you know?
I haven't talked to him in a while. I talked to his parents, funny enough, a couple of years ago, and they said he moved to writing books.
To where?
To writing books.
Oh, okay, writer then. That's great. I've had authors on the show too. All right, so around high school you started doing music for real. You started taking it seriously, and you mentioned to me that you're in 2 different bands now. Okay, how'd that come about?
So the group I joined first was a big band out of Duxbury called Tinkertown. I knew one of the directors from a local jazzing I did through high school, and he asked me to come on and fill in on bass for one of the gigs.
Okay.
And they didn't have a guitar player at the time, and I asked him, I said, well, I know you wanted me on bass, but because the guy's back, would you want me back on guitar?
Okay.
I enjoyed playing the music, and they said, of course, and it's been about 3 years since I've been with that group.
Oh, okay, this was while you were in high school, and you're still doing it now. Was that it?
Yeah, I started senior year.
Okay. And And what about the other band? You say, wait, hold up a second. Big band. When I hear big band, I think of bands of the '40s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So how do these people in this band equate? Are they comparable to a big band sound of the '40s?
Yeah, they do a lot of the old big band charts.
Okay.
A lot of them. I'm one of the youngest in the band.
Yep.
The only guy younger than me is 15. Everyone else is 50 to 80.
Wow.
So I'm one of the young guys.
So they were around in the '40s.
They were.
Well, okay.
So they have a lot of the original charts still from the '40s. So like Count Basie, Dorsey, and many others. I'm losing track because they all have the composer like Sammy Nestico, who did a lot of stuff with Basie, but others, Ellington pieces as well. But they have a lot of those original charts, and they play around the Duxbury area, and
Don't forget Duke Ellington.
Yeah, Duke Ellington, yeah, Billy Strayhorn, of course.
Yeah, one of the all-time faves.
Absolutely.
Yep. Okay. All right. Now talk about this other band you're in. What's that?
So the other band's a little more. I want to say
contempo.
Yeah, it's a little more contempo. It's a rock funk-based group.
Okay.
We all do jazz primarily.
Yep.
But we wanted to get together and try to do more rock and blues because when we were all starting out when we were younger, we all liked those genres of music, more rock and blues.
I understand. Now, these people are all more in your age range.
Yeah, this is actually my age group. They're not all in their 80s, so it's nice.
Right. Okay.
But we're a group called Steve Harvest.
Okay.
The only reason we have that name is because about a year ago, my girlfriend gave me a cardboard cutout of Steve Harvey.
Okay.
Because he's just someone that I don't know if I
Tell
love.
me who he is, because I'm not really. Is he a musician?
Steve Harvey's a talk show host.
Oh, that's
he's a Family Feud and stuff too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
He's a goofy guy, and I always poke fun at him all the time. And they got it, and I always left it in the music room where I practiced with them. And they said, let's just take it on the road.
Okay.
And it was more just called the Joe Folan Quartet.
Okay.
Because the other guitarist in the group is Joe Folan, who's a wonderful musician.
Okay.
And we just take tunes from that are rock or funk or jazz based, and we try to put a new twist on it and try to freshen it up for the next generation coming up, because it's all older music.
Okay, cool. All right, now you mentioned you don't do any vocals at all. Everything is just you strum and that's it.
Yeah,
no. Okay. I'm just curious why. Do you sound like you could have a decent voice for singing if you wanted to. So why do you choose not to sing? I'm just curious.
I don't know. I just never really got into it.
Just doesn't feel comfortable with it?
Yeah, I wasn't comfortable with it that much.
Okay, but you write your own licks, as they say, right?
Yeah, or my own music.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. You write original stuff. Okay, so why don't you play a song, name the title, play it.
Sure.
I'll swoon to it and whatever, and I'm sure the audience will as well.
Of course.
And we'll talk about it. So go ahead.
Sure.
All right.
Let me just.
Without further ado, this is Tomas Campbell on with his guitar, and the song is called?
This is a song called Blues for Marty.
Got it. Blues from which?
For Marty.
From Marty?
Marty. He was the band director I had that got me to the big band.
Okay, very nice.
Hope this mic isn't kicking all over the place.
Awesome. Very nice.
Thank you.
Okay. That's sounds like the kind of music my father would definitely dig. He's really into jazz, and that's he'd be humming into that song. Okay.
Well, thank you.
So that is now. Have you ever done any CDs? Recorded any CDs, or you and your bands, or by yourself, or either and or?
Yeah, I just recorded down at UMass Lowell
Okay.
with a jazz trio,
Oh, cool.
doing some jazz original stuff. Besides that, I've tried with older groups I was in for a time, and they were chaotic to say the
Okay.
least, so they never got through.
Why were they? How was it chaotic?
So, for one example, I was in this group in high school
Yeah.
with people my age, and they
Right.
wanted to record. So they had us try to sneak into Boston Conservatory. It
Okay.
was already a bad idea because we got caught because we're not.
What do you mean you're not supposed to be because you're too young?
Well, it wasn't that we're too young. It's that I wish I knew the full story. The drummer tried to manage the band,
Yeah.
and he's as good as managing as he is drumming,
Okay.
which he's not. And he had a friend who was a producer who tried to get us in for free, but the people only thought there was one or two of us going in, not a whole group. So people try to sneak around the back door, and obviously you can't just sneak in the back door of a
Okay.
big conservatory. That's ridiculous.
Is this a school?
It's the school, Boston Conservatory. It's
Okay.
a music school.
Right.
So thank goodness we did not get in trouble, because that would have been it.
Well, what finally happened? I mean, you were with them, right?
Yeah,
I don't
and-
want to get you in trouble, but
No, of course. But the security guard came out and he's like, "What are you guys? This isn't a movie. You can't just sneak into buildings."
Oh, boy.
And the producer was able to talk him down and explain what the situation was, and he was really nice about it. And he said, "You know what? I understand. Go and record."
Okay.
And while the recording was okay, the producer, he lost half the tracks.
Oh no.
So we had to go over, and he's like, "Yeah, come back to my house. We'll tweak them up and everything, and we'll go figure it out." And his house wasn't his house. It was an abandoned house in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
There's holes in the walls. There's smashed windows. I'm like, this is. Am I gonna get hurt? Am I gonna get killed here? I can't.
Was it in a bad neighborhood?
It was like. It felt to me because it was in the projects, but it was within it. It was this abandoned road. There's no roads around.
Okay.
It was this house in the middle of nowhere. I'm
Ooh.
like, what? Because I was 17. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm
Pretty freaky.
speechless. And the band, except for me and the singer, the band left because they all carpool. They left to go get pizza
Okay.
for everyone. So it's me, the singer, and the producer. And the producer got a call, and he starts having this rage-induced, rage attack. He smashed the sink. He's freaking out. I'm like, I don't know where to go. There's nowhere to run.
Wow.
So I try to call the band. They're not answering. And the guy, he throws us downstairs, and I'm with the singer. The singer was 15. And I'm like, I can't, I got no muscles here. I can't do anything.
Wow.
He comes back up, and he's sweating. He's kind of angry. He's like, you know what, I'm really sorry, guys. I didn't mean to get all angry like that. Here, why don't you come check something out that I wrote? What something that you wrote?
Sounds like he's passionate about it.
He's
what he
passionate
does.
about something, but it was just out of random. It wasn't our stuff.
Right.
He called it punk rap.
Okay.
And maybe there's punk rap out there.
Yeah.
This was not a good example.
Okay.
It was like a rap beat that was really fast, and he screams over it. It wasn't
Wow.
even it was just screaming. I'm like, am I in a fever dream? Am I having a nightmare? What did I do to get in this situation?
So what finally happened?
The band came back finally, and I pulled the guys aside. We need to get out of here. This is ridiculous. And they were able to kind of talk like, oh, well, this emergency came up. We got to go, blah, blah, blah. Never did I carpool with them again.
Wow.
And the guy never gave us our stuff. We never talked to him again.
Jeez.
I'm like, that is, what a start.
Learn as you go. Learn as you go.
Learn as, that's the
Wow.
way to put it, yeah.
Okay. So I guess the lesson here is that if somebody has a house, or if you're better off if you have a person who has a house that other people have seen
Yeah.
before you go.
Right, be prepared, too.
Right.
It's just one of those things of you can carpool, sure, but you should know where you're going. You shouldn't just go in blind oh, the drummer knows what he's doing.
Wow. It sounds like that'd be the kind of good thing to write a song about. Just to
could.
Even if it was an instrumental, at least my hunch is that you could convey a mood of
Oh,
fear.
absolutely,
and-
a fear.
Yeah.
And terror, of course. You probably could.
Do you ever play anything like off the cuff, just unwritten, just the way you feel, that kind of thing?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay.
In the middle of that piece, it was because with jazz, there's a lot of improvisation to it, and I love working in that area and trying to expand on where you can go with it.
Okay.
I for one example, I'll try to find different avenues. So I'll do sketching, or I'll try to read different books on philosophy just to try to gain perspective. So when I go back to music, I can think of it in a different way.
That's incredible. That's incredible. It's great that you tie stuff in like that.
Yeah.
Because it's all art basically, and
Absolutely.
And in music, you have to reach deep within yourself.
Absolutely.
And having those ideas, flying around in your head is what makes it doable.
Of course, and there's so many subjects in school, like math and science, and even physical education, that you can always connect music to it.
Exactly.
There's so much theory that's all based out of math. How the strings vibrate and how you strike a string is all physics.
Yep.
The anatomy of your hands and how ergonomically bad it is to play an instrument.
Right.
You can always tie it into something, and that's what I love about music.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty much connects everything together. Well, why don't you play another song?
Sure.
You want to make one up about story you just told me on the spot? That's fine. If not, just do what you please, and we'll do it just like you did the other one, and then we'll talk about it.
Maybe on the next one when I feel more comfortable. That one's going to take a minute to think about. But this is a bossa tune. It's a bossa nova called Sombras that I wrote.
Okay, cool. Haunting melody that. The chords were hauntingly soothing.
Thank you.
I like that. Tell me, how do you know Anthony? You just gone shopping in his store? You old friends from school?
I knew Anthony. I went to the store about a year or so ago.
Okay.
I have tendonitis in my hands, so.
You had what in your hand? Knives?
Tendonitis.
Oh, tendonitis. Okay.
It feels like knives sometimes.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
So I've been going to different doctors, still trying to figure out what it's caused from, because it's not just typical tendonitis where it's more of a muscle issue. There's a nerve issue. There's my wrists are loose.
Ooh.
I got arthritis. I'm going to blame my dad because he had the same kind of issue when he was younger that I didn't know about. But
okay.
I was trying to figure out solutions and trying to get past the pain, because having a splint on too long could cause more problems than really solutions.
Right.
So I went to Wicked Healthy, and I promise it's not sponsored. I went to Wicked Healthy, and they had all this different stuff for your hands and different pain medicines that you can try.
Wow.
A lot of them are organically based, so it wasn't anything really strange or suspicious.
Okay.
And my hands have been doing great. You know, sometimes they have their moments, but I used to be crying all the time because of the splints, because it was just so bad. And I thought I wasn't going to be able to do music anymore. But they've been able to, along with my doctors, been able to help my hands heal And the more I've kind of gotten used to it and trying to figure out how to make it work, that stuff's been helping me out. I can get through gigs that are hours and hours long.
Wow.
I can get through practicing for different events at school.
Yep.
Because the practicing, I can't just stop practicing. That's kind of like saying to,
Just topical stuff only?
in terms of
I mean,
my
is
hands.
it just something you put on your hands, or does it take it internally too?
There are internal ones. I don't take those normally.
No.
This is more of just a special cream. It's like Tiger Mom.
Right.
It's just a little more
so
organic.
so it's just topical for what you use.
Yeah.
We use is topical. Wow. That's great.
It's great. They have a bunch of great stuff in there
Well, I know
too.
they do. It's a great store. No question about it. Okay, well, obviously, you became lifelong friends. You may have saved your career, not to mention in a world
absolutely.
of hurt, no pun intended.
No, you're totally right. Absolutely. If it wasn't for that place, I don't know how much I'd be doing right now.
Wow. Oh, I'm glad I asked that question. Well, why don't you do one more song? You can do a tribute to him or something, anything you want, and then we'll wrap the show up.
Sure, of course.
Okay, we got under 10 minutes now.
So I'll keep it.
You can name it if you want, and then play it.
So to kind of answer your question about improvising,
Yeah, there you go. Love to hear you do some improvising.
let's work with it.
All right. Wow, that was. We'll talk about that. It almost sounded like a piano.
Yeah, I've always had a big passion, because I know you brought piano before the
Right.
show. I've always tried to make my guitar sound like a piano.
Cool.
And I've been able to get into more musicians, especially as I've been having tendinitis, to listen to people and try to study what they've been doing.
Yep.
So yeah, I had a big tuning kick, so as you saw, it's now a different way it was set up than it was before. And from that, I tried to expand on different ideas. So part of the tuning was based out of how Renaissance players used it.
Okay. You mean like the lute?
Yeah, like the lute, exactly.
Okay.
The lower string was just to try to have a new center to get different colors out, and just my thought process was to try to find a way out of a specific note to try to push it in a new direction.
Wow. Good old Renaissance. Where would we be without the Renaissance?
Absolutely.
Went from the Dark Ages to the light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely.
Well, guess what, Anthony? I'm sorry, Anthony. I'm thinking, why am I thinking Anthony? Guess what? Tomas, sorry. Anthony will be flattered when he hears that.
Of course.
We have under 5 minutes to go on the show.
Great.
So what I want you to do is to give shouts out to people that are going to see it, like I told you before. Just look at the camera.
All right.
Just, and condense them, friends at school, family members. Anthony too, if you want.
Yeah, of course. I'll start with Anthony.
Okay.
Just thank him for really helping me continue music and to really stay passionate about it and to not really lose hope in playing anymore. I love to thank my girlfriend for always supporting me and helping inspire me to find new directions out, and Marty Hartford, who helped me learn to really be creative with the instrument. My parents as well for helping me get through school and helping me be really supportive through everything. And of course, high school with Carver High School, of course, to help me understand and really learn that music is really what I want to do in the rest of my life.
Oh, okay. Now, any of those folks involved, I hope you can send some messages to the people in your bands to get them on my show if they're interested.
Of
if they
course,
wanna do
I'll
that.
definitely let them know.
Okay. Is your girlfriend into music at all? Does she play any instruments?
She sings. She does some piano too.
Do you accompany her in your music at all together?
We do a couple things, not too much. Funny enough, our styles are really different.
I see. I was going to wonder. I was going to ask why.
She actually is a cantor for Catholic Church.
Oh no. Did you say she was?
She's a cantor. It's a singer. It's a singer at church.
Oh, I thought
No.
I thought you said she had cancer.
No.
Oh, that's good.
Thanks be to God. No. She sings church music.
Okay,
primarily.
that's what they call a cancer.
A cantor.
Oh, cantor. Oh, with a T. See, I'm sorry.
It's so good.
That came out really stupid, but
No, it's all right.
okay.
We clear that up real fast.
Yeah. Well, okay. Sometimes I get a little wax in my ears, but at
Hey,
least
no problem, man. I
Okay.
understand.
All right. So what is now going forward? Summer's coming. Obviously, are you out of school yet?
Yeah, I got out of school about a week ago.
Okay. So what are you going to be doing? You going to do any gigs around New England, the South Shore?
Yeah, I'm going to try to keep some gigs around the Cambridge and the South Shore area.
Okay.
And I'm going to do a lot of writing. I'm trying to actually work on a book
Okay.
for bass playing. I'm primarily a bass player.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out ways to not only change techniques so you don't get involved with tendinitis because there's so many ergonomic issues with the instrument,
Right.
but kind of breaking out of some of the stereotypes that a lot of big school books have written about for years.
Okay. Do you know that in Plymouth during the summer you can play outside on the street?
Oh, yeah.
Have you done that?
I did some of it
I
last
did a
year.
show there years ago. I remember when I started doing Topic Time, or in the summer of 2011, I went out there and some of my musical guests were out there and I covered it with it.
That's
I covered
awesome.
some, that would be cool. I mean, you could do an outdoor stuff like that. And it's
I
not too
definitely-
far from you. It's the next town
Yeah,
over.
it's an easy 10-minute drive. I'll let my band know and hopefully I'll
Definitely.
be able to see you there.
Yeah, I'll start. I go there all the time. Well, listen, I hope you had a good time with me tonight.
Of course, absolutely.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
we're going to wrap the show up, and I want to thank you for being on with me tonight, Tomas.
I
Great
wanna
job.
Thank you. I
You're a very
appreciate it.
talented young man, and I see big things for you in the future. And after my show, it'll definitely launch and open more doors.
That's great. Thank you so much. I can't wait.
Okay, folks, thanks for watching Topic Time. More great episodes to follow. See you next time. Here we go.
Thank you.
Simon, here we go.